Well, hello. Hi, everyone. Other people will be showing up as we go along. And welcome to an exciting conversation. But let me tell you what this is. This is the a coaching shop where every other Tuesday we get together and we discuss and be in a conversation about not what's working. Because these conversations are not about improving yourself. We're not in the improvement business. That's not what we're doing here. It's a conversation about something more fundamental in the conversations that we have. And they're conversations about you shaping worlds and shaping the worlds that you live in. And as you know, we live in these worlds with other human beings. We live in this world with other species, other plants. So we live in an ecosystem, an ecology. And then the question that we ask here at Ideal Coaching is, what does it mean to be human? The basic, something that's so fundamental. What does it mean to be human? Uh, and one of the things I've come to, not like a conclusion, but a way of noticing, observing, is that to be human is to care. To be human is to care in a way that rocks don't care, in a way that other species and other animals don't care. So, what is it to care? I see Mike is here, and I want to say something about Mike because he popped up in this conversation. Mike lived here on the East Coast, and he recently moved back to California. And now he's there and he's with his family and with other people and they care deeply, his kids, his grandkids. So that's care. And we want to distinguish care as the ground of being human. Care is not an emotion, it's not a feeling. What you care and how you care determines what you notice, what you ignore, what matters. We are always caring, and we're not always conscious of what we're caring about, but we're always caring. And so the world that we live in is not an objective world in this conversation. uh, it is disclosed through your care. It's revealed to you through your care. And and so we're going to get at this in a second, and I'm going to introduce you to our guest here. And we're going to have a conversation and some conversations and anything, any questions that you have, just put it in the chat and we will get to your questions. And I'll say this again. You are a being who cares. I'll say that you are a being who cares. So is all the other beings here on the planet with us, a being who cares. And so we want to get at that in a way that we can, in terms of your purpose, as we talked about, we don't want to find a purpose. So, and that's not what we're doing here, finding a purpose. We want you to be here noticing, observing what and how you're living so that your purpose can emerge for you. You can begin to notice what is it you care about. And so with that in mind, I want to introduce you to our guest. I met Vero years ago in Mexico. She lives in Mexico. And she was an amazing woman then. She's an amazing woman now. And I learned a lot from Vero. She was working with women, and I went and did one of her courses for women. And when I left that course, I went, oh my God, what just happened? But she was caring. She was passionate. She was on fire. And when I will, some of you know this already. When you have a passion that's having you be on fire, the world opens up in a whole different way. And then that's something. So, Vero, come on, tell us about you. Tell us about what your life is about right now, what you're doing, how you're doing it, where you live, all of that kind of wonderful stuff. Vero.
Thank you, Betty. I really appreciate it. It's a pleasure for me to be tonight with you and with the people that it's with join us with tonight. And well, I'm living in Mexico. I'm from Mexico. I am 53 years old. I didn't remember. Yeah, 53. So I'm so happy. I'm married. My husband is from Colombia, and I was certified as a coach in 2011. It was with Betty and with Anna. Honestly, it came about somewhat by chance, because I had been following Betty for a long time, Betty. Maybe 5 years ago, before 2011, I had been hearing about you from here in Mexico. And when Anna called me and invite me to join the certification, I didn't hesitate. From that moment, my life completely changed as I learned to think differently. Um, and because the ontology gave me a new way of living through an extraordinary methodology as the coaching. So over the years, I have committed and continue. I have committed with my learning and integrating the other techniques to like be a little bit more complete with this kind of living and understanding more. What I needed is to understand a little bit more about myself, and and I continue the path with ovarian breathing, with mindfulness, with neuroscience, with learning from the heart, also some spiritual techniques, and but I work for different companies for over maybe 30 years or 25 years, something like that. And my experience in the business was with companies. But since 2011, I decided to start working with companies, but as a coach, as a mentor, as a consultant. And right now I have 5 years, no, actually 6 years working with for motor company as a coach in a project called for guest experience. And I'm really grateful because since 2011 my life changed absolutely.
Very good. So one of the things, when you began to observe and notice, and you can notice the patterns, what patterns, not to beat yourself up, not to make other people wrong, but our whole universe is shaped through patterns, which is the structure of our care. And as you notice the patterns that you live by, tell me, what patterns have you noticed in your life? And
Mm, I think that the patterns that I observing in my life was to be really always be thinking in others. I mean, how I can work with others or support or not or to to support others to live uh, to see that they can live better than before or to change. I mean, my patterns were more in the change, like changing my life, changing the lives, changing my mind. And I think that it was the pattern that I have been I mean, I'm observing that right now that uh, in my life. I mean, I continue changing and in trying to do something that make me feel sense about to be improve my life or to be better in my life.
Mm,
And but I remember, I always remember something that you tell me, like in a coaching once, and you tell me you have to remember that you are enough
mhm,
and you are competent and enough competent. And I always remember that because when I continue trying to change something, I need to observe that I'm in a vision that I want to grow for evolution more than because I am not enough.
yeah,
And I always remember that, Betty, and I want to say thank you for that because it's something that it's very present in my life.
yeah, that you say that because we're born into an ongoing world, and as we live in this ongoing world, we're born into it. Conversations, interpretations, meanings, and we adopt some of these meanings and interpretations. And one meaning, especially here, and I'll put you in the Western world, is this whole pattern of insufficiency,
Exactly.
that you're not enough.
Hmm.
So then we're working to get more, to have more, so that we can be more. And one of the things I'm learning as a pattern,
Hmm.
that when you can recognize that, which it sounds like you did, and which I'm doing too, is I'm recognizing that my sufficiency is not granted to me through the external world.
Hmm.
And I know you've done work with Joe Dispenza. I'm not going to take up the conversation with him and his work. But something happens when you begin to say, what grants me my being, my authority? And I stay away from the word God because there's so many interpretations and meaning of God. But there's something that we human beings, unlike rocks, that we can, what would you say? We can move into, it can move into us. And when there's coherence with that, life becomes not about getting, let me get something to fill me up. Let me get this so I can be whole. Let me get this so I can be perfect.
Exactly.
So we're saying, I am this pattern out of which I'm now choosing to live is that I am whole, perfect, and complete.
Complete.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean, does it? I don't think that you don't have you don't have, you're not contributing. It doesn't mean that you're not evolving, but you're not starting from a minus. We really do start from a plus. So thank you for that. And so else you been doing? You got married, wonderful husband from Colombia.
Yeah, I get married on 2019. 2019. My husband is from Colombia, and it was a decision really hard in my life because I have a lot of time by myself work in my path was by myself living in a free life. I mean free, when I say free, like doing a lot of things, and it was really interesting how my life is now uh, enjoying with somebody else, sharing with somebody else. And it's Franklin is an extraordinary man. He works with the earth, he's really connected with the Mother Earth, and he's really natural. He's very authentic person. He really cares about he cares about the life, the natural life, the Mother Earth, the I mean, and I learned from him how I can live really simple. I like to live a simple life, and he gave me peace in my heart every day. So, and I need it because I was really running every day then with a lot of things, and he's like a really peaceful person.
Yeah.
So,
So is the foundation, and that's another thing. I I'm working with this couple right now. I don't know
uh,
whether they're going to get divorced, or whether they're going to stay together. And when they came to me and asked me to coach them, I said, I coach you on one condition. I'm not going to coach you about breaking up, about staying together, but that in any way that you care, and let's discover what care is. And then we can discover what love is out of care.
hmm.
And so we started to work together. I don't know what's going to happen with them. They have three kids. And it was if you separate, your kids get that you care about each other, you care about them. And when I started working with them, I I don't like working with couples. I stay away from them quite often because I I do. I stay away from couples, but this couple, they begged me to work with them. But anyway, so care. And I started to really look at what does it mean to care? And what does it mean to say, I love you? I mean, can you
Hmm.
love someone? But what is care as you listen to this conversation? And anybody, if you want to put something in the chat, please put it in the chat. What does it mean? What does care mean to you? What what is care? What would you say, Vero? What is care?
I think I was thinking about it, and uh, and the answer from my heart is to commit. I mean, for me, care is to be committed, really committed with somebody else, with something else. I mean, it's really care is I'm really committed because that work it's really hard for me. I mean, it's really deep. It's really deep for me. Like to be committed is to be present, is to give with no waiting something that came um, return from any return. To care for me is also to love and but I think that the word is be committed, really committed.
Commitment. Yeah. Care, commitment, intention, shaping,
Exactly.
because your care and commitment shapes. It shapes. We human beings, it's so amazing about us is that shape. We shape the world. Now, we don't do it individually, we do it with others. And in that shaping, it takes it takes care because and I was asking you, and just for a second, I went to see the Michael Jackson movie.
Hmm.
Anybody here in the call? Just give me a second to talk about this. And I was sitting in the movie theater with my sister, and I was just moved by the music and what this young man, this young boy brought forth through music and through dance, combining the two that way. And I found myself crying a couple of times. The magic, and it was
Mhm,
magical. I know it's not magic in the way we think of magic,
mhm,
but it was so amazing that it moved a lot of people. And I could see it in the theater and the dancing and his his tone and his voice and all of that was just quite amazing. So there was care there. And and it was said a couple of times, many times in the music, in the movie, he cared about music. He cared about music. Even from he was a little one. And then and that brought forth his commitment to music.
mm,
And in bringing forth his commitment to music, it had me go, wow, what is my care bringing forth? And what is my care bringing forth? I'm not going to be a Michael Jackson. I have no desire to be like a Michael Jackson, you know. But I was just listening. And then looking at his life story, I don't know what the true story is, what happened. So he got off track. Um, but there was a lot for that. So what do you say to all of that in terms of your care and what care is, maybe in the context of people who are driven that way, you know? I'm not driven that way. But what would you say to all of that?
yeah, I was thinking, Betty, about, I mean, I'm hearing and I was like, for you to care is like to have an stand.
Mm,
Yeah, it's like to stand for something, for something.
yes, to stand for something. You are a being who cares, which we are, but once you stand for it, then it
Exactly.
orients you in a whole nother way towards care with action.
Mm,
Care with
mm,
action.
exactly.
Yeah, I think care bring it calls forth the actions. You know, before we got on the call, you and I were having a conversation about AI
Hmm.
and what AI is and what it's calling forth. And this is one of the things about us human beings in terms of care. With us human beings, there's a beginning and an end. There's birth and there's death. And in that, then it we're compelled to care because we know that someday what we're living in right now, this body, this life, will disappear as we know it. AI has can't care. It is
Mm,
not here because AI will be here long after all of us are gone, right?
exactly. Absolutely.
And so it's up to us as human beings then to bring care to that which has no care. And if we don't, it will. And there are many concerns
Hmm.
people are having about AI. And some people are even saying that it could be the end of humanity as we know it, right? Without care, bringing care in. And so I'm working with coaches. What I say to coaches, learn about this, learn about AI. It's a large language model, and we human beings we're beings of language. We live in language. You remember that
Exactly.
conversation, right?
In conversations, yes.
Yes. And so to learn about it and to learn, and so then we start to learn what is care? What do I not, and it's not just I, like an I inside of me, but what is it that we human beings care for and care about? And what do we bring forth? So, and then, and what's your purpose inside of all of that? What's your, and anybody here on the call, if you want to put in the chat, what's your purpose? And it goes through different stages. When you're young, you say something. When you reach middle age, then when you get older, and then it's hmm, what did I what do I care for? What do I care about? What and when care and commitment align, what becomes possible, not only for me, but for you and other beings here on this planet? What do you say to all of that?
I was thinking also always also it's very um how being I mean how be connected with my way of being that we were talking the last time. And when I really work on my mind, that it's through the coaching, the methodology, that is great, and I can really be aligned and be coherence with
Here.
what really be 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 connected, or be what I really care, and I need really be coherence with that. So I remember in 2011, I lived a great experience in Sedona with a spiritual master, Drumalo Melchizedek, and he teach me to connect with my heart, with the spiritual, the spirit of the heart. And it was a great experience for me because I really learned what means for me to be coherence when I
Mm,
was caring for something, but from the heart more than from the mind. And then
yeah.
when I learned to align my mind, my thoughts, my attention, in what really want to I mean, what really was important for me, then I learned to align my feelings with that, and I learned that it was coherence for me, and it was. I mean, I'm thinking about it, talking about to care, because I think that it's very important to be really coherent with that, with what we say, and what we are feeling about our purpose, or what we say that is important for us.
It's a great word, coherence. And this is what coaches can bring.
Exactly.
Living in a way that they bring coherency just through their movements and their actions and presence. I don't know if you can have coherency without presence. Maybe those go together in some kind of way. And a part of what's happening in our world now, we're moving further and further away from coherency. And coherency isn't words alone, right?
Mm,
It's energies, an energetic movement, an
exactly.
energetic, and then your words are in alignment with this coherency that's that that you're moving through and moving with. Yeah, coherency. Yeah, coherency, presence, care, they come together. I've been working on this piece about abundance.
Mm,
It's a great topic, huh?
absolutely. Yeah.
And care.
Yeah.
Well, because uh, we have to be abundant is what we already are, and it's a space, and it's that space in which life moves through us.
Absolutely. And it's a conversation, right?
Yeah, and it moves through you, and the more open we are, the more can move through us.
Mm-hmm.
And as uh and again, it's not a challenge, it's a repattering of how we participate in life. So it's like if what I'm caring about is tight and I'm bundled up,
Mm-hmm.
fearful and not enough and not mattering and
It's,
all of that, then there's no space for anything to move through me. Care can't even move through me. And as care moves through me, it's repattering how we
mm,
participate. So maybe care then, I've been through so many trainings and courses and led them for the past 40 years. But I'm getting to find out is that to participate in life, something you said, care, coherency, and bringing that together. And each day to be involved in movements, noticing, watching. What do you say to all that? Yeah.
it's a great responsibility, Betty, for in the present moment. I think that for the humans to to be really present, to be present in the and to care about what we are thinking, what we are feeling, what we are focused on, to really uh, care about our the life. I mean, in general, the life, and it's a great responsibility to be. I mean, I am thinking in myself how I can be, how I can take care of myself to really be present and to really um, allowing the life to be, I mean, to go through to myself, to really be part, I mean, to really be so to really support, not support, is to really give something else to the life more than what I am doing or what I am giving with
Mhm.
something material. I don't know if I can express. I have the experience this Saturday. I told you that I have a great workshop with another also a great master. But the experience was really great because it was just the presence of him. No, I mean the what we work on the workshop was great, but what he generated during the Saturday with all of us without words, not really words, I mean with just with the presence was great. So and I was thinking about that, what was a great responsibility to really take care of what I'm thinking, what I
Mm.
am feeling, what I have
Mhm.
to be part of this energy in the world.
Yeah, and be mindful. Like you said, to be
Mindful,
mindful of
exactly.
that, to be present, to be
Yeah.
awake. And something you said too, because to be one thing you can do, declare that you are a generator. I mean, if you're sitting back waiting, which I've done, still do in my life, sitting back waiting for something to occur, it's just, so it's like, anybody here on the call, you remember times when you were little, maybe you still do it now, but you were taught to pray, and you pray to something out there to give you something, to bring you something, to fix something. But now something is happening. It's once you declare yourself a generator of abundance, which means that you're circulating, you're an opening, you are appreciating, and you can so create, circulate, recognize, and receive. You ever just say we receive what we give? Suppose it's true. Suppose it's really true that you can only receive what you give.
Mm.
Right? I mean, that's not just a statement from the Christian Bible, but in many traditions they say, give only that which you wish to receive. Right? And so suppose if we could live with that, what do you think? Right? What would you give?
Um, Give conscience, I think, Betty. I would like to give conscience, to receive conscience. And because it's everything it is there. I mean, if I'm conscious about who I am, who is the person that is, if I'm conscious about life, I can be. I think that I can live more in peace. In peace, like be more peaceful, to feel more peace, and I would like to give more conscience to and also to receive more conscience.
Yeah. I think it's like the piece that we sent out about this podcast. You know, when the monks were walking here in the United States, walking for peace. And my sister and I went to visit them as they were walking, and it was cold. And I noticed. Now, this is what was disclosed to me through how I was showing up, that they weren't walking, they were not walking to get peace. They were walking as peace.
Hmm.
And in walking as peace, they brought peace to a whole bunch of people. And so this is the question I'm with as I go through my day. What am I living as? What am I walking as? What am I like? What am I? What am I doing here on this planet? You know,
Mary, you are a present for us. I mean, you are a gift for us. You are really changing lives and giving us the great opportunity to live in a conscious way. I mean, to live in another, to have the opportunity to live in another path. I mean, to be conscious, to have opportunities to think different, to live different, to feel different. I mean,
this is because whatever I live, I am a pattern.
mm,
And the pattern that I am, you, everybody on this call, the pattern that you are is a pattern for all of humanity. So it's not just for you, but and it is you because we're interdependent, interrelated. But this is very amazing. And so at the level of purpose, then,
mhm,
So what is your what could be a human being's purpose? What
Mm.
any human being, what's our purpose? We're born into a conversation that's already going on before we got here. And we know we're going to lead this conversation, right? Uh, in some way. So what are you going to leave behind? That's where we usually get to the purpose conversation, where people can look and see what did it matter that I lived? What purpose? What was my purpose for living? What patterns did I leave for humanity? Okay, I'm not talking about in size because we got leaders. I started to say great leaders. We got leaders, and then we got leaders who are working to leave a pattern of uh, coherency, collaboration, care. And then we have leaders who are working, their pattern is to leave what? Discord, the, but that's how life is, right? There's no promise in life for how life is going to be. So my purpose then is about living in such a way that we can notice and walk in a way where care is brought to the foreground instead of and revealed, disclosed to us, and not hidden in the background because care is always with us human beings, always. So this is thank you. What do you want to say? Any questions or anything to say in the chat? I'm going to check the chat to see. Care, let me do this right now. Yeah, care is presence as well. Presence allows other to feel seen and heard and loved.
Mm.
Mhm. Care has to do with what uh, couples my mind and heart. What occupies it. And I think about this Michael Jackson again. One time he couldn't sit down, he couldn't sit still, and his father
Mm.
uh, would beat him, and that's also a pattern of beating kids in the way that his dad beat on him, and that's I was friends with his road manager, Michael Jackson's road manager. And he came to me, was living in Los Angeles, and he said, I want you to meet Michael Jackson. And maybe you can do something with this young man. And guess what I said? No.
Why, Mary?
Why? What was I going to say to Michael Jackson at that time? What was I? It just took my breath away, even thinking about meeting him. You know,
Mm.
that. So, and that's who we all are in our lives. We can move through our lives uh, with what captures your heart and mind, as someone is saying here. Care for me is wanting the best for someone and doing what I can to help them do their best. Uh, so all of that. So what I'm inviting all of you to do is to look at and say, what what do I care for? What I care about? What what pattern? If you think of yourself as a pattern, what pattern will I be on this planet?
Mm.
What pattern will I be on this planet? Or if that's too big for you, what pattern will I be for my kids and my grandkids and my nieces. I don't have kids, but I have lots of nieces and nephews. So, what pattern will I be for them by living that pattern, right? Living it in a way that it shows up as that so they can go, aha,
Hmm.
yeah. So, what pattern are you living? Your care. And I know if you could meet Vero, I call her Vero, not Veronica, and watch her and be with her and the work that she's doing, you get a deep sense. I do, and I'm sure you would too, that this is a woman who cares, not just talking about it, but she lives her care. So we have a few more minutes here. Any questions from anybody put in the chat? Anything to say? What do you care about? What do you, what's moving you? What's touching you? What's, and if you're in resignation, and I've had moments in my life where I was resigned and just going through the motion, but it wasn't like I was, when you care and you have this kind of, this commitment and responsibility, it moves, you move, and it flows through you. That's the thing. A person through whom care can move and move in a way and ignite that care in others, care for this world that we all share together. So, what do you say, Veronica?
I'm thinking, Betty. I'm going to think to have these questions on my mind because I think that this moment it's very important and always because my job my work has uh, uh, to be with sharing with people and in business and organization and companies. I think that is very important conversation because what I am thinking is what it's to have results, and sometimes the people that are working into the organization are feeling very bad or I mean they think that they are not giving. I mean that they need something else. So that question, I think that it could be really important for for the people that I'm sharing because it can could be open an opportunity to see in another vision with another world of view. So I'm really grateful, Betty. I'm really grateful.
Yeah, well, thank you. Because here in the Western world, now of course we look at world views. We've gotten to what performance,
Exactly.
and that's some kind of care, but performance all the time and go faster and quicker, and
Absolutely.
and that's why some people are excited about uh this AI. Oh, we can get more done. We can go faster. We can produce more results.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
what we're leaving out of that is our humanness, which can stop and watch a sunset. Or when you hold your kids in your arms or your grandkids,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
something is touched, something
Yeah,
is moved that goes beyond performance.
exactly.
Or and then
And I'm sorry, but and I'm excited because I think that as a coaches, it's the real opportunity to. give the message or to support them, or as we do it with ourselves, to to give this worldview. I mean, to show this worldview as more than result performance. We are humans, and we need to think about what really cares,
Yes.
what I'm care, and that's that great
Yeah.
for us.
Thank you. And so to all the people here, I know I am. I'm moving and leaving with, well, somehow to switch the what I call I and move it.
As we, did you say something?
Yeah. As saying, you I care about, not you I love, because love is a different conversation, but to care.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean? So I'm inviting all the people on this call and for us to ask, what is it to care and to care for and to care about uh, and to embrace our care, especially if you're here in the United States. What is it to care? So we're going into 250 years of being here, and on this in this particular, in this particular land, even though the land was already here before we got here, but we shaped it. And what do we care to shape now? And it's not going to be easy, but we didn't come here for ease. We came here, I'm going to say, we came here, yeah, for joy, happiness, love, peace, and also to shape it. And that's what care does. Care is shaping how we live together.
Mm.
And so to all the people on the call, I want to say to you as well, we are doing a half day, not quite a half day, 3 hour course with around AI, what it is, how you can use AI to begin to shape your world, how because it's an amazing piece of technology. And what's amazing about it, as Veronica and I were talking before, it's a large living, it's a large language model. And human beings, we are shaped in language. Now, I've studied language for the past 40 years. So, what is language? I'm not just talking about language like Mexico, Spanish, or, but I'm talking about the language. Our very being is shaped in language. And so, what makes this piece of technology so important is that it is playing in a field that human beings have been with since the beginning of time. And it's directing, it can, I don't know if it will, but it can take us to places that, unless we stay awake, unless we stay present, it will take us places that we don't even know that that's where we're going. If we want to go there, we, so we're going to send something out to you. It's I have an AI person. This is his background. He's a pretty incredible young man, and we're going to play with how you can use AI without losing what we call losing your soul. Enough people have done that already, where it can be frightening. And then, and what you'll walk away with from this 3 hours is a clear, simple understanding of how AI actually works so that you can get in on it. It's not a surprise to you. And and why this matters, because it's changing how we think already. and we don't even know it. And I want you to know how you think, like I want to know how I think. And let's use this piece of technology in a way that can benefit
Mhm.
all of us. We can, and because if we don't start using AI intentionally, it will start shaping how you think, which happens all the time anyway, without you even knowing it. And like I told you, I was in the movie on Sunday. About a couple of hundred people in there. And I'm looking around and I'm saying, there are 200 movies in here that's happening right now because each person is bringing their own meaning and interpretation to this movie. And so you'll get some information from us. It's I look forward to working with you. You'll get a chance to meet Jaron. And the price of this, I forgot how much did we say? Like 100 and some bucks, and we'll give you an early sign up, something like it won't cost much for you to be there. I invite you to come. I invite you to bring other people with you. This piece of technology and what's happening in our world is life defining right now. And with your purpose and what you're up to, we can chart a course of peace, of love, of care, and what I'm interested in these days, wonder.
Mm.
This is a vast, vast universe, as vast as all of us here on this call. And so I thank you for being here. You want to say anything, Vero?
I just want to say thank you, Betty. It's a real honor to be here with you and to learn from you. And I'm very blessed. So thank you so much, Betty. And I'm here in this life. Saying thank you, because the coaching changed my life, and I live now for from the coaching. So and really, really thank you, Betty, and I will continue. I'm really interested on the course, and because I need it.
Yeah.
So thank you for give us that opportunity.
And we'll make sure we get you and other people information. I see Mike. Thank you, Mike, for being here. Miriam, thank you. Who else do I have? Kimberly, thank you. Kava, thank you. Is this my Malaysian person? Thinking about Malaysia. Someone from Malaysia usually shows up.
Mm.
I thank all of you. This was also being watched. It'll be on YouTube. You can watch it again. It's a privilege to participate with people who care in the way that we're talking about care here. Thank you. Have a
Mhm.
good evening, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Betty, and see you soon.
Thank you. Yes, you will. You will see
Thank,
me. It's
thank you.
been a while, but